Hi, hello.
Okay.
Hi.
Hi, Javi.
Hi, hello.
Well, if we start with a quick reflection on Arsenal, what have you said to the players about that, and how much has it affected the mood, the confidence coming into an important week?
When the game finished, for sure, all of us were disappointed with the result. But what I said in the press conference after the game, I think we did many things well, much better in the first half, where the game, in my opinion, was more equal, and we had some chances to score. We didn't suffer a lot. We defended well, and I think we found the balance we need to play against these kind of teams. After conceding the penalty and after conceding the early goal in the second half, then the game changed and was more difficult for us. But the players always kept going and doing the right things and the right thing until the end, and we scored one goal, and I was very happy with the attitude of all my players.
And in terms of coming into this game against Nottingham Forest, can we expect to see many changes to your team, and how are injuries looking, in particular Gnonto and Verba? How could they be involved at all?
About injured players, I prefer don't say anything, because that our situation is not good about injured players, and all the medical staff, all the players, injured players, are working really hard to recover as soon as possible. But in 2-3 days, the things don't change a lot, and then maybe we'll have some different option for tomorrow. But we have to prepare the game with the players we have, and it's our mentality in this moment. Be positive and try to play an important game for us, and try to do it in our best level.
Given how close you are with Forest in the table, situation for both of you, how big does it make this game, and what can you expect from them, because their away form hasn't been the best this season?
Yeah, now we start in the most important part of the season. There are 10 games left, and we know every game is massive for us and for them. We are playing at home, and we know how important it is for us to play with the support of our fans. Then we have to make an extra effort and try to give our best, because it's our chance. It's the moment when we have to try to take a big amount of points.
And how much is it about how mentally strong everyone stays and focused? There's so much going on around you. We saw at the weekend other teams down there winning, the likes of Bournemouth and West Ham. We've seen Leicester depart ways with their manager. Could that give them a bit of a lift, a bounce? How much are you looking at all of that going on around you and your players?
Yeah, of course you see all the games, and you want to know everything about other teams. But I try to be honest with you, and we don't waste our time thinking in other teams, thinking in other situations. We have our situations. We are living our days in this moment, suffering our difficult situation, but at the same time with the confidence that we are doing many things well, and try to be focused only in the next game. That I think is the best thing we can do, and thinking this way, I think we are closer to achieve at the end of the season our target.
Thank you.
Yeah, thank you.
Hi, Javi. With regard to Forest, they haven't won since they beat Leeds in early February, so that's 7 games. Do you see a team that's playing badly and without confidence? Is that how you look at them?
About Forest, you asked me. I think they have different options if we speak about players, because they sign new players and they have many different options. You can see the last lineup and you compare with the game before, and you can see they do many changes. They can play with different shapes, they can play with different players, and they have many different options. Then in the last game, I think they played well. They have, in my opinion, quality players, and it's a team that they defeated us a short time ago, and then we have to be aware of that. They are a good team. They defeated us, and we have to do something different and something better to try to beat them in the next game.
Javi, I don't think anybody expects you to have the same strategy as to play Arsenal. It's different sides, but you talk about playing at home, the extra effort that's needed, the temptation to go all out for a win. How do you balance that with being a bit more, I don't know, sensible maybe?
I expect a more offensive game for us than the last one. If you are asking me about that, when you play against Arsenal, I can tell you whatever you want, but at the end was 33% of possession for us. Then we have to know to know the way to manage that percentage of possession, to try to be offensive, to try to be brave, and I think we did it. We created some chances, 5 shots on target. Arsenal had 6 shots on target. Then we competed well. It's true we are playing against the teams on the top in this moment on the table, but I think we competed well. Now playing at home, I expect a different game and expect a more offensive game with more possession and, the most important, with a better result.
Javi, you said the other day that it's hard to enjoy the moment because it's difficult and it's stressful. What's the most difficult part for you of your job right now? What's the hardest part, Joe?
I try to enjoy every day, because it's not only football, it's the life. Try to enjoy every day. But when you feel the responsibility of people around you, all of them trust your job, trust we will get the target at the end. Of course, you do it as well, but you feel that responsibility, and until you don't get it, you don't stop.
And is the responsibility bigger than you imagined for you? Now you've been here a while.
No, as usual, but I was responsible when I was a kid as well, Then I try to do my job always well, and, it's the way I feel my job, and I want to finish my job well. Thank you.
I have it. The team that you picked against Arsenal, did you have one eye on the games that were coming up, these 3 crucial games at home? Was that your thinking when you selected the team?
No, I had to keep an eye in the next games, and I had to keep an eye in the games my players played before with the national teams. I had to think about many things to take some decisions in that game, but the lineup I chose was thinking that players, that formation was the best to play against Arsenal in that moment, and the same way I'll do in the next game, knowing we have to play another game next Sunday, and we have a busy month of April, but now we are only thinking in the next game.
Rodrigo got some minutes against Arsenal, and he's been the most reliable source of goals. How important is he going forward for the next 10 years?
But the Rodrigo's situation, he's making a big effort to help the team. Maybe he's not in the best condition, but he tries to help the team. the same way the rest of the players. All of them have clear the collective objective that is to remain in Premier League, and that's our target. And all the players try to help different ways. Some of them starting in the first 11, others playing 30 minutes, 5 minutes, others staying on the bench, but all of them with the same mentality. And like I listen many times from my arrival here, something like marching on together is something I can feel it in every day here.
Hi, Javi.
Hi.
The recovery of the players in such a short space of time is obviously very important, the physical recovery. How important is it for them to have time to switch off in between games and not to think about football, if possible?
Now there is no time. There's no time. Now we don't have enough time to do it. We play on Saturday and we are playing on Tuesday. We don't have time. We are coming from the international break where the players that stay here with me, they enjoyed that 2 days and a half off, and that was the moment. And now we have to be focused on this in the most important moment of the season. 10 games left. You know, it's very fast, and we have to be ready to give our best. There is no time for other things.
And with the game being in so important and such a short period of time, how do you, as a coach, know when you've said enough to the players? How do you know when to stop? You know, giving them instructions, talking about your plan. How do you keep it simple?
I suppose my experience tells me when I have to be more hard. I have to handle the team in one way or another way. I try to be clear. I try to be honest with them. I try to say them always, to tell them always the truth. Yeah, I think it's the best way to help them and at the same time to achieve our objectives. They don't want someone tell them something and after listen other things about them. You know, I have to. I try to be clear with them, strict at the same time, and is the best way to have a good relationship and at the same time to take from them their best.
Hi, Javi.
Hi.
Since Rodrigo arrived in 2020, there has been a long-running debate about whether he can play alongside Patrick, either as 2 9s or with Rodrigo as a 10.
Mm-hmm.
How do you see that in your opinion? Now you've seen them play on the training field and in matches, and would playing Rodrigo as a 10 maybe inhibit what's been a very, very good season for him in attack?
In my opinion, Patrick is a clear number 9, and all the strikers we have can play with him. And if we choose one day, like Arsenal's game, to play in other way without Patrick, we can do it as well. With Rodrigo as a number 9, with Rodrigo as a double number 9, we have different options. And in my opinion, what is really important is the quality of the players and the attitude they have to play wherever you want. If you tell them, Ras, you have to play Rasmussen, you have to play as a midfielder because you have to play there, they don't say anything. Yes, I'm going to do it. I'm convinced I can do it well. You know, that's what, in my opinion, is important: the quality of the players and the attitude to do what you want to do.
You're not the first head coach to talk about the mentality of the players and how willing they are to work for each other, and there's no selfishness, there's no egos.
Yeah.
How rare is that then? Have you worked with other squads in the past where you will get some dissent or criticism or complaining when you ask them to do something a little bit unusual?
What I feel from my arrival here is that all the squad was in one direction, you know, and I don't know what they did in the past. I don't know what is going to happen in the future, but in this moment, the present, what is important for me is all the players are really together, and all of them want to achieve the objective in a collectively way, you know.
Is that different to previous sports you've worked with? You've had complaints in the past from players when you've asked them to do things like that?
I try to give importance all my players because I believe in all of them. Then I didn't complain when I don't have, for example, some players, because I have others, and all of them deserve to play, and all of them are waiting the chance to show what they can do. Then for me it's important that of course I have to choose 11 players. Maybe it's the most difficult part of my job, try to choose only 11 every single game, but it's something I have to do, it's my responsibility, and I try to choose the best 11. But after that I know how important are the players are playing from the bench. They many times make the difference, and then they have to feel it, and I try to give that importance, not only the first 11. I think all of them, even the players are on the bench. You know, the way my players celebrate every goal is something amazing. It's something they can really feel it. We are not lying. We are not telling you something you want to listen. You know, it's something they really feel. Then that's because I feel proud of the players I have and proud of all they are doing. Yeah, thank you.
Hi, Javi.
Hi.
We know these are really important games. We know Elland Road will be really passionate in these next two games. So how important and how difficult will it be for your players to stay disciplined, not just in terms of the referee, but in terms of tactically as well?
I don't have any doubt about that, because as you could see in other games playing against Brighton, was really difficult for us to keep that discipline. We were losing twice, and to keep our shape, to be constant, don't do movements that we don't want to do. It wasn't easy to do it, and we were really disciplined. And then I don't have any doubt about that. The players are going to do the plan, for sure. They are going to do their best. After, we'll see if we are able to get the result that we expect.
And you mentioned earlier the game against Forest in February. How much have you watched that back, and if you have, what lessons did you learn from that?
You have, sorry.
How much have you learned that game back? Because obviously you weren't involved in it, and what lessons have you learned from it?
Yeah, we try to learn from all the games we've played before. Until now, we have different feelings. We won, we lose, we draw, but in my opinion, we competed in all the games, and we were close in all the games to get better results. And now, in this moment of the competition, I think it's the moment to give our best and try to show what we are able to do. Is the key moment, and we have to do it now. We are in a moment when we have to play 3 games at home in a row, and it's an important moment for us. Thank you.
Elland Road last season, when Leeds were fighting relegation, saw quite a few crazy games. How much do you want to avoid that, to avoid emotion being a big part, or is it important that emotion is a big part of it?
I think we have to live the games like are coming. You know, we try, of course, to be focused on the game, on the things we have to do, but we have to feel the support of our fans. We need the support of our fans. We always have the unconditional support from them, but in these games is, in my opinion, is crucial.
You've had a month with the squad now. From what you've seen, do you feel that they have the potential, or should have had the potential this season, to be higher up the division, or do you understand why they've been in trouble?
Forest, you are asking me?
No, Leeds, the squad at Leeds, yeah.
I think we are where we deserve in this moment. The table put you in your place, and if you want to improve your position, you have to do things well or better, a little bit better. We try to do it. We try to improve in every game. We try to improve our situation, and if we want to deserve a better position, we have to work hard to do it. Yeah, thank you.
Javi, hi.
Yeah, hi.
You mentioned Marching On Together. How much do you like that song? And how does it compare to other club songs?
I love it. And I love it when I listen in Elland Road, because away I listen many times because all the supporters are with us. But when I listen in Elland Road, is something different, and it's something I think helps our players to play better. And I'm sure in the next games the supporters will be with us. We need them.
And do you think it can help you more than ever right now?
Yeah, in these important games for sure. But as I told you before, I don't have doubt about the atmosphere we'll have in Elland Road. I know they will be with us always. They always are with us, and now we have to be focused on trying to do our things well, and the rest things are coming. Thank you.
We're just going to do it.